Okay, for the adjustments I want to make now, as well as some of the arms in here, up to this point we've just been modeling and moving everything in place with the default axis. Okay, and by default, of course, it's right there in the center, and that's why you can see the handles: the up and down green, the Z for the blue, and the X for the red. But we don't want to move it just from here anymore, and the reason is because I want to scale it. And I don't want to scale it like this, and I don't want to scale it like this. I want to do it from the top. So how do I do that? Well, that's pretty important, especially when we come over here to these areas as well, when we want to rotate these. So since these are already editable and I want to adjust these, let's go back and we will adjust these to begin with, and we'll go and finish our lamp. So the base is fine. What I need to control is this guy right here. Okay. Well, his axis is fine for where we want it. So if I rotate this, I choose my rotation tool right here, and I rotate this guy just on its pitch, you can see that rotates just fine. So we don't need to adjust that. But what about this stick or this stick? Okay. Well, that one's fine because we're not going to be doing that. We're going to parent those to the bottom stick, and we're not going to have to worry about that just yet. But what about this guy here? What if I want this one to rotate on its own? Perhaps maybe different from this if it's not parented. How would I do that? Pretty easy to do. Of course, make sure the object is selected. It's kind of important. And then this second little tool here, this is our model tool over here on the left. This one is our use object axis tool. And when I select that, I can actually just move my axis by choosing the move tool and move that guy right down. So now when I go back to rotate, choose my model tool for instance, just get back. Now I'm rotating from there. Pretty easy to do, but really, really important. So when we select this guy, the capsule again, let's make it editable. Use our object axis tool. Select the move tool, and we're moving the axis now rather than a selected polygon. And then when I come back here to my scale, go back to my model tool, and I scale, now I'm scaling from the top of the object. Okay, so very, very important, really simple though, and something you need to always pay attention to. So we're going to move that up. Okay, next thing we do is come here to polygon selection mode, press U, and then L for a loop select, and I'm going to select that guy right there and then grow my selection all the way up like that, and one more, and delete. Okay, and there is a initial lamp. Okay, but I want to shape it a little bit, so I'm going to select this bottom loop, going to go to scale, and right in the center I'm just going to scale that out a bit like that. Okay, just gives it a good bit more interest. And then the last thing I'm going to do is take this bottom edge, go to edge mode, U, and then L for my loop select again, and select that bottom edge. And with this one, we can extrude this one down as well, just a little bit like that. Don't need much more than that. Okay, just to give it a little more interest. And if you feel like it, you can certainly come in here, go back to edge mode, and maybe select this edge, choose a bevel. Let me undo that real quick. I clicked a little too soon. And just bevel this to give it a little bit more interest. So it's not quite as sharp. And you can do that with the rest as well, just to shape it. Now, it's okay thin, but I think I'm going to use that smooth shift again. So back to polygon mode, smooth shift, and let's just click and open that up a bit. And that just thickens it up. Okay. And then we'll take the whole object and maybe just move it down slightly. Okay. Now, let's connect it as well. I want to do a little bit more than just sit it in there. So this is where the bridge tool comes in. So it looks like it's a little bit more welded. So let's move on to the next video, and I will show you how to do that. But before you do that, of course, save.